Hey actors, in the audition room, you have about 20 to 30 seconds to talk to an accompanist who you might have never met before and introduce them to a song that they might have never seen before. So we want to make sure that we give them as much information as possible, as succinctly as possible. So here's all the stuff that you're going to include in that accompanist chat. And the way you're going to remember it all is it's a play that happens in 4 acts. A.C.T.S. About, cut, tempo, start, in that order. Let's get into it. The first thing you're going to do after you look this human being in the eye and greet them and introduce yourself if necessary is you're going to tell them about the song. So you're going to say the title of the song, the show that it's from, the composer and lyricist who wrote it. However, if it's from a pop, rock, and R&B song, you're not going to say the composer and lyricist. You're instead going to say the band or artist who made it famous. We might not know that Max Martin wrote Hit Me Baby One More Time, but we definitely know that Britney Spears is the one who sang it. Then you're going to talk them through the cut. You're going to take your finger, you're going to point to the place where you start, and you say, we start here. You're going to run them through the roadmap with your finger. You're going to point out any cuts that you're taking internally or any repeat signs that you're taking. And then you're going to say, we end here with your finger. Then you're going to set the tempo for them. If you don't know how to set a tempo, I made a whole series of videos about this. Check them out. But essentially, you're going to point to the part where you're starting to give the tempo from. You're going to tap the tempo audibly on your chest while you sing it loud enough for everybody in the whole room to hear. You're going to keep tapping and singing until they say, got it, or I understand, or let's do this. At which point, you can then move on to the final piece of this puzzle, which is start. This is when you're going to tell them the cue you're going to give them that lets them know they can start playing. So you could say something like, when I nod, that's a good time to start. Or I'm going to start with my hand on the piano, that's when you can start playing the intro. Or when I give this gesture, or when I say this line, that's when you can begin. So the whole thing might sound something like this. Hi, I'm Kyle. Nice to meet you. Well, I'm going to sing Journey to the Past from Anastasia by Ahrens and Flaherty. We're going to start here. We're going through here. We're taking this cut that I've clearly marked. And then we're going to end here. Tempo is one step at a time, one road, then another. Wait for them to say, got it. And then you're going to say, when I give you a nod, that's when you can start playing. Make sure that you practice this conversation to get it down to a tight 20 to 30 seconds, because we all know that when the nerves are nerving, you're going to want to have a script that you can fall back on to set you and the accompanist up for success. Break a leg.